That's good geological humor.
All right, we'll get to Kyler Murray in a second, but first, Paul George with the big dunk, 2 of his 47 points.
Oh, it's not getting old. Paul George is for real. Another sensational game last night. Take him to the pick and roll. Split the double team, one dribble. Give me that.
You usually don't see guys elevate their game this much at this stage in their career. Usually at the year you're at with Paul George, it's maintaining. He got better.
America, I hate to tell you, but my partner here told me about this guy. I hate to tell you.
Luka?
About Luka?
Yeah, Mavs and Rockets. Nick has been on Luka's corner from
Since
before.
He was 16 years old.
Yeah, way before he got into the league. Look at Luka showing off the handles, step back jumper.
I mean, when you're the best player in the second best league in the world at 17, it's going to transfer to the pros.
And, Nick, I had one of my NBA sources was in direct conflict with you. Didn't think he was as athletic. And maybe when he gets to the U.S., he's going to be like 6'5". He's taller, and he's more.
Pistons, Wizards, Bobby Portis going up for the dunk. Thon Maker has other ideas.
All right, now this was another guy came from overseas that I was very high on in the draft. People thought the Bucks overdrafted him. I loved the pick. Didn't work out there. I like his athleticism, his length. I think he still can grow as a basketball player. I haven't been playing that long. Hopefully in Detroit, he can grow his game more because I still think he can be a special defensive player.
Yeah, he wasn't happy there in Milwaukee with his role. I'm glad that they moved him to give him a chance to be able to grow his game.
Knicks and Cavs, Mario
Where'd that come from?
Going up for the big dunk.
All right, now we're 3 for 3 on Euro players, and my old scouting reports are 3 for 3 on foreign players, I should say. Hazonia was a trash-talking dunk contest winning maven in Europe.
What's his name?
Hazonia.
Mario Hazonia.
Mario, put it on ya. Hazonia right there. Listen, I don't know. I just added that.
Could be boxer.
He was a top 10 pick with the Magic. Did not work out for him, but he's always been able to do that. Hasn't had a lot
I thought he was just a jump shooter. He's a high flyer.
That was you stereotyping.
Well, I mean, ain't many dudes can elevate like that have that type of
Hazonia.
Moving on to Heisman winning quarterback Kyler Murray. He is picking football as his career choice, putting baseball on hold for now. And while there are questions about his diminutive stature, he is still projected by most to be a first-round pick. However, it is that height issue or lack thereof that could scare off some teams. According to reports, the Giants are one of those teams. They picked 5th. They consider Kyler a little bit too small for their liking. CC, what will Kyler Murray have to do to sway NFL teams before the draft?
Well, I don't believe he's going to have to do a lot because if you look at not only do we have 8 new coaches in the NFL, I think the number count is around 20 or 22 of the 32 teams have offensive-minded head coaches. The league that is played on Sundays and Mondays and sometimes Thursday is looking a lot like what we've enjoyed through the years on Saturday. So since these things have happened, also the rule changes, the success lately of Baker Mayfield transitioning from the same offense to the Cleveland Browns, I believe all these things are the reason why we're seeing a guy potentially 5'10", deciding I don't want to play professional baseball now. I prefer to be an NFL starting quarterback. So I do believe he will be a top 10 pick because of how things have changed in pro football. And, man, all those new coaches, they're willing to take a chance in this NFL with a smaller guy.
So this isn't about what I think he'll be as a pro. This is about what he's going to have to do between now and when the draft is, the first round of the draft, to hear his name called. And there's a couple things I think are going to be key. I think that statement yesterday was key. Making it clear, I'm not going to try to do both. Even if he still loves baseball, keep that to himself. Go ahead.
And realizing that the people who did try to play both Bo Jackson and Deion Sanders, what they did, they played the position that is very more athletic ability and gift. As a tailback, Bo Jackson, we can say we're going to call pitch 28 or 18, whatever the numbering system is. We're going to pitch the ball. That's almost the same play that he ran when he was 8, 10, 12 years old.
Deion Sanders, cat coverage.
I got that cat. You don't have to be in the huddle.
He didn't go to the huddle. So, so you could not play both sports as a quarterback. It was never going to be allowed to happen, and I don't think you could be successful doing it. So the first thing was that statement, make it clear. The next thing is, I do want to see how he interviews, because here's what I know. We're talking about the smaller quarterbacks. Russell Wilson, even though he still was way underdrafted, he interviewed brilliantly. He is a guy that walks into a room and you say, I will follow you wherever you're going.
Great point, yes.
Baker, you were on this from shaking
I interviewed Baker on the field.
Right, at Ohio State.
I had to touch the groceries and everything, look at them too sometimes.
Of course you did.
And so like Baker has a commanding presence.
Right.
I'm not saying Kyler doesn't, and it's possible he has one football
And you're
presence.
also not saying you need one to be a successful
I think to be a quarterback, I think it's helpful. I think it's helpful, especially if you're going to be a young starting quarterback, to lead these grown men. And he might have a different football presence than media presence. In media, he has been, I would say, understated almost to a fault. And there is an outlier X factor, which is his dad has seemed very heavily involved.
Yes.
To it. And we know a lot of these quarterback dads.
Ooh,
it's
they're
typically
different now.
Texas 7-on-7 kid who then the dad wants to be the offensive coordinator. That I remember, to go way back, David Carr's dad was going to Texans practices when he was the first overall pick for that franchise. So there are instances of this. There's obviously Marinovich's dad, which was a different story.
Yeah.
I think teams are going to want to find out.
It's something that we should watch.
Absolutely. And then the other thing they're going to be looking for at the Combine, because I think he's going to throw great. I totally agree with Chris.
You think he'll throw at the Combine?
Well,
yes, don't come to the Combine and not throw. He should do everything at the Combine. When you make the announcement, and Nick, that's a very good point, to NFL teams, if you're going to win me a Super Bowl, I need some things. I need you to be committed to me. Off season, you're committed to me. I need you to repeat this. I'm here to win Super Bowl. Because that's what we hear as those are the things that franchises want to hear. And you don't want a guy, you can't be a part-time NFL player, let alone a part-time NFL quarterback. So all those speaking points, I think you're right about that, Nick. You have to get those out because that's the elephant in the room. Is he going to be committed to our organization?
And listen, so I think at the Combine, all his football measurables, meaning his speed, the shuttle, the accuracy, he's going to do well in. We know the height is the reason that some people, such as myself, don't think he's a top 10 pick. The measurable we don't know yet is, put your hand up to mine, Chris Carter. We don't know how those hands are going to measure out. We know that the two quarterbacks in the league 6 feet or under, Breeze and Russ, they both have big hands, 10.25-inch hands. Baker has smaller hands, but he's a little bit taller and stockier than those guys. If he's the shortest, the slightest of frame, and has smallest hands, then I think there will be more teams than just the Giants that say, I don't think we can take him. So I'm very curious to see what the hand size is. I know I sound like the scouts, the old school scouts, who I'm not always a huge fan.
No, it's important.
Some of it matters.
It's something I overlook. And I'm into the weather.
Right.
I'm into height.
Yeah.
I'm in the hand size. I'm into those things. Great point that you bring up. We need to see that measurable.
Yeah. And I'm happy to put my hand up against yours if you want to feel better about your hand against his. I have little paws. It's amazing I can even hold on to pens.
Your little paws?
Coming up, Paul George playing himself into the MVP conversation next on First Things First.
Oh, you've been high.